Global War 36 enthusiast here with a video about understanding the effect of terrain on the cost of building rail and the cost of repairing rail. Here we have a border between Bohemia and Bavaria that does not have a rail connection between it. If you wanted to build a rail between the two, 13.2.8 says that what you do is you trace the most direct path from the originating land zone rondel to the destination land zone rondel. And the terrain that's on the border, as you take a line between those two, it's mountainous here and clear here, and that determines the cost of your rail there. If you have mountainous terrain on one side and clear terrain on the other side, you have to pay the more expensive cost. So this would cost 4 to build a rail right there. If you wanted to build a rail between Bohemia and Eastern Germany, that would only cost 2 because it's clear terrain on both sides. There would be no advantage to building another rail connection here. You know, for example, between Western Yugoslavia and Eastern Yugoslavia, there's 3 different rails. That doesn't help you. You don't, to cut supply, you don't have to bomb each of those rail lines. Any strategic bombing that's on the border is cutting all rails. So there's no advantage to building redundant rail. So that's how you determine the costs of rail by terrain. But let's look at how you determine the cost to repair rail that has differing terrain. Let's say that this bomber comes into Austria and performs strategic bombing of the rail between Austria and Hungary. What you do is you apply the damage just on the side of the border of that rail and put a little damage marker there. So the damage was done on the Austrian side, right up the snip of the rail was occurred right at the border between Austria and Hungary on the Austrian side. So let's say that Germany owned this territory and Italy owned this territory. Germany is the one that's going to repair the damage because the damage was done in Austria. And the cost to repair it is going to be 2 IPP of damage since this is mountainous on this side. On the other hand, if a bomber had come in and done the strategic bombing on the Hungarian side of that border, you would put the damage on that side of the border, and since it's clear, you can only do 1 point of damage there, and that would cost 1 to repair. So what's really interesting is that you could, in theory, do both of these bombing missions if you had a surplus of bombers. It doesn't help you. The line isn't more cut. All you need to do is cut either side and the line is cut. But if you had nothing better to do with your bombers in a particular turn, you could do something like this to just make your opponent pay extra to repair the lines. And this also kind of makes sense if you bombed 2 clear sides, then there'd be 1 point of damage, say, if you're bombing here and 1 point of damage here, and it costs 2 to build a rail there, or 2 to repair if you did bomb both sides. And similarly, if there was a rail between, say, Slovakia and Austria, you'd have to pay 4 to build it, and then you could bomb 2 points on this side and 2 points on that side. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about how building rail or repairing rail works based on terrain.